Welcome to At the Table,
where we are connecting entrepreneurs, discovering missions, and building communities with purpose, body, soul, mind, and business with
Charlie
and Heather with Free Time Solutions.
Welcome to the table. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather.
And today we have the very awesome privilege to bring to you the gal we've all been raving about, because her retreat was amazing for us. Absolutely. And life-changing back in April.
It's just full of joy. And when you think about abundance and being able to tap into what you feel like abundance should feel like, that's Jackie.
Yeah, that's Jackie. And she is a manifestation magician.
I like that. I like that.
Say hi.
Hey everybody, Coach Jackie here. I'm your freedom mentor, and now I'm going to walk sideways through the door because my head is so big. I love it. Thank you, ladies, for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you. Also an honor to be with your people. So thank you so much.
We're super privileged to have you just as part of our circle, because we get to glean from your wisdom all the time. Jackie is a part of our fave group, which is how, well, not our fave group, Karen Ray's fave group, which is how we met Jackie. And she's a speaker. She's just an overall like empowerment specialist, kind of magic maker, dream builder, really gets you going and gets you excited about just living life on your terms.
Yes to all of that. So thank you. Record that. I'm going to take it out. That'll be my introduction from here on out on every stage that I talk on.
Excellent. So one of the things that keeps coming up for all of us is how to, well, not only just set goals for the future, but follow your heart and your passion in order to get there.
So I don't know, most of us have had corporate jobs, if you're listening, and you've probably been in some corporate job, or you still are. And most of my career in the restaurant industry of 30 years, we did SMART goals, right? Like specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, time sensitive, but there was something always missing from them for me. One of the biggest things that was missing was the feeling along the journey to the external goal that we were trying to hit. And so we're setting these goals of like certain money and this business, clients, money, tangible things that we think are going to make us happy, right? When we get there, and it's like about a second, you're happy and you're like, okay, what's next? Because we discount the journey. So the journey along the way is the intention behind the goal of how do you intentionally want to live, feel, experience, all the things, so that if the goal doesn't hit on the exact date, because we can't control that, FYI, the how and the when is out of our control. And so if we have fun along the journey, we are like uplifting. Like for me, the journey to hit any financial goal is like, what are my people experiencing? How much joy are they having? How much freedom? How much freer of an individual are they living? What am I experiencing? Am I living my life every day along the way and enjoying it and stepping into all of the joy that the money will bring? It's not the money, it's all the stuff along the way. Because what happens sometimes, if you ever get to a goal, weight, money, whatever, and you get there and you're like, that's it. Right? Like that because you hustled and you grinded and you sacrificed and you did all these things. And I'm not saying there's not sacrifice in life. I get that. There's compromise, there's all those things. But when we sacrifice the journey and we lose out on all the joy along the journey, the external goal won't mean crap when you get there.
Right.
And so with that, what we talked about earlier, and I'd love to share with your audience, is like, how do you feel into that journey? Like, how do you get that journey to today as if it's real today? Because our brain will not function on something unknown, right? So the unknown is everything that we like want to have in our life now, but we don't currently have. What we know is everything that happened in reality. Our current reality is our perception, blah, blah, blah. You've probably heard all these things, but it really is, if we want something different, we have to think, believe, feel, different today to create what we want the future to bring in today.
Mhm.
Does that make all sense? Does that make sense?
It does
It
to
does.
me.
It does.
Because I've
And-
worked with you, I feel like that I understand that.
Mhm.
So it's stepping into the feeling of what it will feel like to have done the journey along the way.
Mhm.
Yes. And who do you need to be is one of the most important parts. Sorry, I live in an RV, everybody. I'm a full-time RV. So when my dogs walk, it looks like I'm in an earthquake. So I'm not in an earthquake. It's just my RV. FYI, that's my freedom life. When I talk about freedom life, I chose RV living with my husband and my 2 dogs. For those who haven't heard me before. So yeah, and exactly. So like the journey, and it's important to who are we being along the journey, because we talk about doing and having, such a do have society. Like, what do we need to do to have what we want?
Mhm.
But what I was missing the boat on for 40 years of my life until I discovered this whole self-development and coaching journey back in when I was 47. I'm 51 now. Well, yeah, I think I am. Yeah, I just turned 51. Sorry. And but when it comes to that, like, I didn't understand the whole part of like the being part. Like, who am I being? Am I loving myself? Am I taking care of myself? Am I treating myself with respect and dignity? Am I taking time for self-care and who am I being in my confidence and my boldness and my courageousness and like all of that? And sometimes we're doing all that and but we don't give it any credit. We just think, okay, I just gotta keep doing. I just gotta keep doing. I just gotta keep doing. And that's just not true. When we miss the boat on the being part, everything's hard. Everything's so much harder.
Mhm.
So, you want to play a game?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. So, I gotta tell you guys, they've done this with me, so we're gonna have some fun. But if you haven't done this before, take what we do and practice it with like family, friends, coworkers after we do this. So what I like to say that this is stepping into our future self from a done place. It's not future anymore. It's what do we desire? So what I want to do is each one of us will share 1, 2, or 3 goals that we want to achieve in the next 18 to 24 months. And so we want to like and I say achieve. I know I just talked about external goals, but we're going to focus on the things or the experiences that we want to have in our life and what we want to experience. And then we're going to all speak into it. All 3 of us are going to talk. What's so much fun about this process, when you'll get it after we do it, is that we're on each other's lives the whole time. Like, we're on each other's goals. Like, we're in each other's goals. We're in each other's homes. We're in each other's, like, and it's just so much fun. So, okay. So I'll kick it off. A couple of my goals in the next 18 to 24 months is that I want to be a paid speaker, speaking all over the country and the world. And that will be a 6-figure leg of my business. And then I have I've got this juicy mastermind that I'm building for 2024. So in the next 18 to 24 months, this mastermind is full and rocking and rolling, and it's another 6-figure leg of my business, or more. I say 6. I mean, I can remember that, right? I teach that and I forget it sometimes. 6 figures or more, because that could be multiple 6 figures. That could be any. And then the third one is the retreats and the that I do throughout the year, and I do consistently 3 retreats a year, and that is a 6-figure income leg. So we'll just skip with actually there's a 4th one. There's a book in there too. There's a book in the next 18 to 24 months, which is my calling card at all the speaking I'm doing internationally across the world. So those are mine. Okay, Heather, tell me yours. Give me 1, 2, or 3 of yours.
Okay, so I'm not telling the story yet. But I figured out I it's hard not to tell a story since I've already played. We're gonna interview Pink for the podcast.
You're gonna interview what?
Pink.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'm going to see her in Houston next month. I'm so excited. I'm literally flying to Houston just so I can see her, because Denver's ridiculous to like go, and it's too expensive for, and I'm not that it's the money, but Yeah, anyway, it's a whole nother story. But Pink is awesome. Continue your
Okay,
dreams.
Yeah. So this podcast is just gonna explode. And
What does explode look like?
that
To
I
you, right?
expect to be able to be on the same vibe that Pink wants to be interviewed on our podcast.
Yes. Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
So my personal life, I will have bought a house,
Yeah, girl.
and our free time business literally blows my mind, and I'm able to buy and sell businesses. It's freaking
Ooh. You have to buy and sell businesses. And your house, do you have any like specifics about the house that you want it to be? Like how many bedrooms or how many acres or anything like that?
I I have weird specifics. I want at least 2 bathrooms and washer and dryer, like nice ones. And a good sized kitchen. That's where I'm at. I'm not attached to if it's 2 or more rooms.
Or more.
Yeah, it's 2 or more. Yeah. So,
And remember, this is where you get to go beyond what you think is possible.
right.
In this game, we go beyond what we think is possible.
Tell me,
Okay,
what kind of countertops do you have in your kitchen?
So in addition to the house, there will be an outdoor area that has a
There
fire
is an
pit,
outdoor area.
and it will have like
It is.
bathrooms, or it will have like the ability to have like an outdoor bathroom shower type of a situation, so that I can have larger gatherings and or like rent out an RV slab or something along those lines.
Okay,
I
so
keep getting this like outhousey pump vision, like it's
yeah. Okay, cool. I already know what I'm gonna speak into there. So okay, awesome. So Charlie, tell me yours.
I really want to do more speaking engagements. Okay, that's a big goal of mine this year. I will be a multimillionaire,
Yes.
and I will have my beautiful garden of my dreams where I grow my own food and nourish my family with.
Excellent. Okay, so garden to nourish, so farm to table, right in your backyard, in your area where you are now. You're a multimillionaire. You're speaking all over the place. Heather has her house. I think there's gonna be way more than 2 rooms, but just saying. Way. And it almost sounds like an outdoor living space, possibly like a pool house style place. I don't know if you want a pool, but the pool house has a place. Okay, so and then there was one other thing you said, a business is blowing your mind. Oh, and podcast expansion. Podcast is to the level that Pink is like crawling the door, like knocking on the door to want to speak on your podcast.
Yeah.
Oof, good stuff. Okay. All right, ready? So now what we're going to do is we're going to take those, because are they in our current reality right now? Like technically, no. None of these things are currently to the extent of what we want them. We might have spoken on a stage here and there. We might have like done a version of it, but we're not quite where our vision is. Now we're going to take it and we're going to speak from a done place. And we get to help each other speak into each other's vision to help expand it. I'll kick it off. So man, I can't tell you, Heather, like, thank you so much for letting me stay on your RV pad and enjoy the pool and everything. And I actually got to experience Pink visiting your house to do the recording in your recording studio, and to be able to spend time with her because of what you have grown with this podcast. Oh my gosh. And I know her next stop is to go visit Charlie's house too, because I think she promised to come see both of you guys. So thank you so much. And this is like, I remember when I met you, it was like just a thought. It was like, I don't know if that's possible. Now you've got it all. You've got this 5-bedroom house with this pool house with people clean it for you. You don't have to worry about it. It's all taken care of. And this gorgeous soundproof recording studio to have people like Pink show up. I mean, that's freaking amazing. So I want to say thank you for letting me experience Pink. I'm so excited.
It was so much fun, and talking to her about her filming Trust Fall back, a few years ago. Gosh, just like that video and talking to her about her experience with that.
Mhm.
So amazing.
She's
Oh
so
my gosh.
strong and beautiful. And you were able to book a retreat at Heather's house, just a small intimate retreat at Heather's beautiful new home.
Yep.
And just able to bring your joy to the Pacific Northwest in a way that, was just a very really cool intimate time.
And
What was cool about it is
Julie-
I checked off my 50 state because I'm doing retreats in all 50 states. So coming to you in Washington was amazing.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Heather. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say we flew, Julie flew in from the East Coast too, like to have her come and be at that retreat with us was such a nice treat. Like meeting her a few years
Yes.
ago and just and meeting you in person at the same time at one of your retreats. Like, and now all 50
Oh my
states.
gosh, it was so long ago.
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
gosh.
that was amazing.
And
Ah,
be- because of your speaking position and things like that, you've helped my speaking grow and invited me to be part of your panels. Such an amazing gift to me. And it's opened
Girl.
doors that I never even dreamed of. And I've been able to return the favor and get you in with Tony Robbins, right?
oof. You rock the stage. You rock the stage at Red Rock. When we got the Red Rock and we all got up there speaking at Red Rock in Colorado, I always dreamed of speaking on that stage, and to be able to do it with some of my like closest people in my life, to like get on that stage with you, Charlie, that was amazing.
Mhm.
That was just a dream come true.
I
And
think that was the
and-
night that Pink approached me too. Like,
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think
that's right, because she heard about
like,
us
we're
and then she
taking
came.
pictures of you guys and cheering you on stage, because I'm not quite there. I love to document and help you guys.
But you were on the panel. You came on one of our panels.
Yes,
You did.
absolutely.
And so that's the first step into your speaking career, girl. That's a big step. I mean, you have a speaking career because you're known all over the internet, like with what you guys do with your podcast.
Mhm.
And you're not just a verbal podcast, right? Like you're not just a listening one. You're
Yeah.
video too, because what the business you guys have built has exploded. I
Yeah.
mean, and
Oh
so
my
you
gosh.
guys are so well known that with your million views here and your million views there, my gosh, or listens or downloads, Jesus, I can't even keep up with your numbers.
And so worldwide. It's so fun to
Jackie, do you want to come be on the panel in Australia with me next year?
Oh heck yeah!
Let's
Yes,
go.
yes, yes. Of course. Well, just for the sake, we could probably go on for hours.
This girl's garden, is
Oh my gosh.
phenomenal. And we found that gardener that that's like perfect, like can come in at like when we're traveling and
Mhm.
keep it all pretty and nice and going for her. Like it's such a cool partnership. Like
Mhm.
And I heard your garden is also provides food for your nonprofit to feed the area for like the undernourished and the community. And that's super cool. Like I have a friend out in Pennsylvania who's now has covered all of Pennsylvania and feeding anyone who is the children who are not getting fed. And I heard your farm to table garden has taken care of that.
Mhm.
So that's huge. We all need more vegetables in our life.
And I hired a private chef to cook my meals for me once a week. So all I have to do is grab something out of the fridge and warm it up, and it is fabulous.
I think her name is Bria, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You met her at the
Fabulous.
retreat way 3-4 years ago.
gosh, yes.
At our bank.
That weekend that we felt so fabulous from eating such that wonderful food. Oh my God.
Right?
Changes your life when you put yourself, and that's what was so cool about that way when we first met, is when we put ourselves into a place that we don't normally experience, it gives our brain the ability to say like, oh, I get to have this, and I get to have this all the time if I decide.
Mhm.
So now, because of experiencing that, you have your personal chef and you have people cleaning your house and taking care of everything in your new 5-bedroom monster property, having retreats. I mean, come on now, like without us all getting together back in 2023, yeah, it is 2023. That was the year? Yes, it was.
Yeah.
2023, getting in that big house. Like, I never imagined being in a big house like that. And now I own 3 of them. You know what I mean? Like, I never, and I'm not, and I'm renting them out to families so they can experience what we experience. And it's become a source of income for me, but it's also, I get to charge what I want for it to help people actually experience that freedom life like we did back in 2023. So I'm so proud of you. I'm excited for you.
Those have been so amazing. And I just love
Okay.
watching all your social media posts of you flying all over the world. Like, I never know where Jackie is. I just have to go to social media and find her.
I finally got that private jet, man. I've been talking about it when we were living in Gypsum. When we were living in Gypsum, the middle of nowhere, there's a Vail airport, and this was back in 2023 as well. And in that airport, we drive by. Mike and I would drive by it every day, and there'd be all these private planes, because all the rich people for the skiers and the rich people for Vail. And I'd be like, oh, someday. There was this blue, like royal blue plane that was in the parking lot. And I was like, honey, that's our plane. We're getting that plane someday. We got it. So that plane, because we love blue, blue is our favorite color, but it was like shiny metallic, it was like really cool, like markings on it. And that's what I take all around the country now when I speak. So cool.
That's
rad.
I have to, I don't know if I ever posted about the, I'm gonna have to post more about the plane. I don't know if I've posted about the plane as much, but it's so nice because now I don't have to
post about the plane.
I'm gonna have to. And I remember that you're trying to book all these flights to like Tennessee retreat, the November 2023 Tennessee retreat and the Montana retreat. And I was like tired of trying to book flights. And I was like, you know what? We just need a plane. And a year later we got the plane, and now it's like, all right, now let's find the regional airport I can fly into.
That's a better problem.
Exactly.
Easy.
So good.
So this is such a fun exercise, and it's really fun to share posts or have community conversations where we are talking into each other's dreams, because then we're witnessing each other's future. And then we're here for that joy and that journey.
And to cheer each other on along the way, right?
Yes. And then this thing here can start because the only way to change a neural pathway in your brain of an old story to a new story, as I like to say, is repetition and elevated emotion. So I don't know about you, but when I do that exercise, I feel so elevated and pumped up and excited. Now, the first time you do it, you're like, this is crazy. People think I'm crazy when I lead them in it. And they kind of like sit back like, I don't know what to say, because you're scary to say something. We're very scared as humans to say something that if it doesn't come true, then I'm a liar, or I'm like, I'm stupid, or whatever it is, right? But this is a safe game to play because we get to get into our imagination, and the brain then starts to go, of course she's got a metallic blue plane that she flies all over the world, and I've seen the plane, and I don't currently have that plane in my possession. It's just, it exists, and it's going to be in my possession one day. And my brain goes, well, how can we make that happen? So how can we make this house happen for Heather? Because Heather sees herself in the house. She's got candles. She's like, she imagines like decorating the bathrooms to the T, like with those squishy, really fluffy mats, right? So when you walk on the floor, you're like, oh, it's like walking on like air. It's beautiful. I mean, and then the brain's going, yeah, exactly. We're going to have that garden for Charlie. That garden, like, what are we going to, okay. And when she walks outside in her current property, she gets to visualize the garden. And all of a sudden, like, yep. There. And then all of a sudden they're at Home Depot, and all of a sudden this is being purchased, and all of a sudden this is happening. And you're like, oh, wow, this is happening. Why is it happening now? Because you brought it into today. Because your brain believes it's true now. The how and the when we cannot control. So release, surrender to the results on the other side. Have fun on the front end process. Marry the front end process and divorce the results is what I like. I heard a multi-level marketing company say one time, and I was like, amen. So have fun on the front end. And this is one way to have fun on the front end process.
I love it.
And then you get to watch the magic happen. Because we did this 2 weeks ago on our faith call, this a similar practice like this, and I manifested travel into my life. I manifested travel into my life. Literally, I get off that call and we get a message from our other business partner, John, and he's like, "Hey, I got a surprise for you. Give me a call when you got a chance." So we give him a call. He's like, "So I have this client. It's kind of a big opportunity. I'm not going to spill all the beans right now, but it's going to take us to visit New York, at least a couple of times." So I got off that call, and literally within 20 minutes, I had the answer to the how, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need to know the how 20 minutes before when I manifested it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a really good point to bring up. It's, I have this conversation a lot with my clients about Shauna is on one of your podcasts, right? And one of the biggest things that she shows and she's evidence of is you just got to trust the front end process of meeting people, telling them what you do, making offers, right? That's the process of building any business. You got to meet people, tell them what you do, make offers to help them. And you can't try to figure out who the person is, figure out how it's going to be, who it's going to be. You just got to like meet people, tell them what you do. And she is a prime example of speaking into what it is that she wants to meet, and then all of a sudden the person's like put it in front of her by someone else. She goes out and she went to a birthday party, like gathering, and the woman there was someone she'd never met. That woman led her to exactly what she asked for, to another meeting. Like, and so we've got to just trust that if we meet people like you guys, like I'm so blessed to have you guys in my life. We're going to meet people and we're going to tell people what we do from our passionate place. We're going to make offers, but we can't try to figure out who do we have to meet? How is it going to be? When are we going to do it? You know what I mean? Just trust that every person's going to lead you somewhere that you don't want to go, and you're going to realize it, or you're going to meet them and you do want to go there, or you do want. So,
and that's part of the journey too, is you're going to make a choice and that's going to feel good. And then you're going to go, okay, that's the way I go. And then you're going to make a choice because that didn't feel good. Now I know that doesn't feel good. Now you make a different choice. It's not that something it's bad or you failed along the way. Like, I think that's important too. Like, it's all part of the experience and having those moments to go, wow, this is my problem today. I love that.
Like, celebrate it all. Even if it feels a little poopy sometimes. Celebrate, because that duality, that's a really good point, Heather, because the duality of life is needed. We need to have those funky moments to appreciate the good moments. We learn more in those funky times than we do in the highs. We learn way more that serves us than we will ever know until we know. And then the highs. So great point.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to spend more time with you, they know where to find us.
Right. But then we keep hearing about these retreats coming up too. Like,
yes. So the one that you guys came to was my first, and it was just a magical moment for me. And from that point on, I was like, I need to do more of these, and there needs to be more containers, whether it doesn't matter, like whether they're small, big, whatever, because that one was bigger than I thought it was going to be. like more people than I thought I was originally going to bring. And so that just kicked off. So now there's a Tennessee one in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee with these gorgeous cabins with a indoor pool, jacuzzi, catered food. You don't have to lift a finger. Excursions. We do all sorts of fun stuff. But the bigger part, I think, is the cool stuff that we do in the retreats. It's great. It's the connection between the women that come to the retreat and the way that the magic happens between exactly who was meant to be at the retreat. And so, and they all come out freer than they were when they walked in the door. Freer to be them, freer to step in their confidence, freer to live their life the way they want to live it, freer to experience life like in a way they never thought they could, like we talked about earlier, right? It's just you always leave the time with me. The one thing I can say is you always feel freer than you did when you came in, no matter what. Whether it's 60 minutes with me, whether it's 3 days with me, whether it's a 6-month container, you will always feel freer to be you than you've ever felt. And so Tennessee is one of them. That's November this year, 2023, since we're back in 2023. We're no longer in 2027 like we were earlier. But and then 2024, I have April, I have Montana. Gosh, when I say it was a spiritual experience to be in Glacier National Park, and on my 50th birthday going, I remember going, I know why I'm on this earth. And I know it because I'm in this park right now. It was so weird. I was like standing there, like looking at this like picturesque lake with a mountain, like everything I've wanted. And the house, I want my house right where I have this picture, but I don't think Glacier will let me build a house there, but I'll find it somewhere else. And I remember going to Mike, I'm like, I got to bring people here. And this is before I planned the retreat, before I was going to do Outer Banks. And I just like, I got to bring people here. And so we're bringing them, and we're going to go to Glacier National Park, April 2024. And then I've got, I'm going to be a guest coach at one in Cozumel in January. I haven't even told you guys about that. So there's one in January in Cozumel. So it's the travel, the speaking around the world. It's all like happening, you know, because we're talking about it the way we just did in the game that we played, you know? So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I offer,
Went,
yeah, you guys are going to be at Montana, so I'm excited to have you guys in Montana. We didn't speak into that, but I'm speaking into it now.
I've been into it for a while. I'm like, I'm going to Montana. I want to go to Glacier National Park. I've always wanted to go to Glacier National Park. I've planned the drive and everything. Like, I see it.
Yes. And
I'm the passenger princess.
Yes, you are. Passenger princess. I love it. That's when you get like the rental that you're gonna get, like because you're more luxurious than just taking your own car.
Oh, yeah.
And you're gonna get the rental with like the big cushy like back seats and like the air, whatever you want, like get the max rental that you can get. I mean, unless you find my private plane, if it's
Totally
free.
possible by April.
You can take
We're on the private
is.
plane. That's exactly. Yeah.
And I will say another way that you get to be in my world with the retreats is that I offer a special deal for my mastermind to be in my mastermind up until the retreat and a couple months past the retreat. And it's normally like $777 a month. I'm giving it for $250 a month if you join my retreat. And so to be able to be in my mastermind with the women like you guys met, like Angie and Kristen and Shauna and Angela and all those women, last night's call alone just blew my mind. Like the love and support, and it's carried on to 24 hours later all into this chat that I watched them. I cried last night. I was like, I'm just same way as the retreat, but it happens twice a month now along with the retreat. So you get to know everybody that's coming to the retreats and stuff like that. So that's a special only for my retreat attendees that you get it for only $250 a month.
That's awesome.
That's amazing. That is an amazing gift.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
Yeah. And I felt this like, okay, if you're, because the retreat's amazing and it shifts lives, it totally does. But when you can have a connection along the whole journey, again, how do we want the journey to feel? How do we want the experience to feel? Right. To the ultimate goal, the mastermind, connecting into a group like that is everybody needs it. Whether you decide to join my mastermind, everybody, or someone else's, but you need a community.
Mm-hmm.
Need community.
It's huge how much that piece of community means to each of us, because we're such a part of community, and culturally it's definitely has lacked. And just like the freedom to talk about what's really going on and not be judged, and then actually in opposite be supported, because like you said, the miracle of who shows up, like you didn't know who needed to hear your story,
right?
And you got to have that in person, sitting across from somebody, you tell them, you know, your story, and they share theirs, and then you're just sitting
Connected
there
for life,
blown away that we could come from all over the country and have stories that are so similar and so impactful to each other that it was
Well, did you ever hear the saying like healers heal?
Mm-hmm.
Right? People who are willing to heal themselves by doing what you just said, sharing stories that then touch someone else, gives them opens them up to be able to heal and feel trusting to open up to the next. So there's a coach that I work with that talks about going first. Like some of us have to be the ones to go first.
Mhm.
And with each time that someone shares a story, you're going first. And when you do it, you heal you and you heal someone else. So it's like the two-way street gift, so amazing. And you guys were phenomenal at that retreat at doing it. I sat there in total awe for 3 days and I was like, okay. I'm like, I just couldn't, just can't even describe it.
I felt safe, comfortable, and connected the minute I walked in the door. Even though we were the last ones there because we were running late because
airplanes.
Right. You did come the farthest.
Yeah, but it was like we didn't go with expectation, but or like a specific intention, but what we walked out with was incredibly life-changing for each and every one of us.
And I think going with the intention of being open to the experience, as opposed to like trying to hold something in that space, I think was perfect. And I think that everybody had that being open to what needed to happen.
Yeah, you guys hit a very important point about life. When we remove the expectations of what we think something should be or going to be, whatever, then we actually we don't have those disappointments. Like no expectations, no disappointments. Only ways of like growing. And that's, by the way, that was my dating philosophy. When I got my divorce and I got back into the dating world, I was like, well, no expectations of anyone that I'm dating. I'll have no disappointments. And it worked. Like I would go on a date, it'd be the worst date in the world. And I'm like, I didn't have any expectations anyway. So I'm really not disappointed. So next. It was like the best philosophy ever. It freed me from anything that like any attachment, like this is the one, oh my gosh, like all those insecurities that we have. I was like, no expectations, no disappointments. And like you said earlier, Heather, like we get to choose the meaning we put to anything that's happening in our life. And what might not feel so good doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it wasn't aligned and we change a different direction and we make a different decision and we think differently, right? And that's exactly, so any of you that are going to go dating, feel free to steal my philosophy.
I love that.
Keeps coming up.
That's okay.
Jackie's got retreats coming up. She has speaking engagements coming up. She's touring all over the place in her RV. She's just moving and shaking
and
all
that's
over
today.
The place. Yeah, that's like
that is real life.
But Jackie, thank you for taking time out of your day today to talk with us and share your love with us and the world. And your light in the world, because this world needs more light.
Thank you so much. It's been an honor. And I love you guys to pieces.
Thank you. And to our audience, thank you so much for joining us today. Namaste.
To you too. If I can find the mouse.
As entrepreneurs, we have a unique opportunity to make a positive impact in the world around us. In a time when the world is shifting towards supporting local businesses and embracing community-driven initiatives, it becomes even more important for us to give where our heart leads us. At the table, we believe in the power of giving back, and that's why we have our cause of the quarter. This quarter, we are proud to support Perfect Pals, a local organization dedicated to rescuing and providing care for stray cats in our community. By supporting local causes like Perfect Pals, we not only make a difference in the lives of those in need, but we also contribute to the growth and well-being of our local community. We believe in small acts of kindness, and they can create a ripple effect of positivity, inspiring others to do the same. As we shift our focus solely from supporting large corporations to championing local businesses and giving back, we not only strengthen our community, but we also foster a sense of connection and unity. Together, we can create a thriving ecosystem where everyone can flourish. So let's follow our hearts and give where it truly matters. Join in supporting Perfect Pals and making a difference in the lives of these furry companions. Together we can make our community a better place, one act of kindness at a time. Thank you for being part of our journey and for embracing the spirit of giving. Together, let's create a brighter future for all. Are you tired of juggling endless tasks, struggling to find time for what truly matters? We have the solution for you. Introducing Free Time Solutions, your ultimate partner in reclaiming your time and maximizing your potential. At Free Time Solutions, we specialize in helping businesses like yours thrive in a digital world. From social media management to website optimization and branding, we have the expertise to elevate your online presence and streamline your operations. Imagine having time to focus on what you love to do while we take care of your business. With our dedicated team of experts and innovative solutions, we leave you free to pursue your passions and achieve your goals. Whether you are a small business owner, entrepreneur, freelancer, we offer comprehensive services tailored to your needs. Our goal is simple: to give you back time, freedom to do what you do best while we handle the rest. So join us at the table and let Free Time Solution empower you to take control of your time and unlock your full potential. Visit our website at www.yourfreetimeback.com. That's www.yourfreetimeback.com to learn more and schedule your consultation today. Free Time Solutions, your partner in success. Let's make the most of your free time together. Thank you for joining us at the table. Stay tuned for weekly readings on Sunday, Mindset Monday discussing our weekly readings on Monday, and on Friday, our interview and potentially guest hosts. Stay tuned.
Thank you for joining in on the fun. Be sure to like and subscribe for more.